Greetings. Wait, no. That's not my line. We come in peace. No, that's not my... Oh, I came here to chew bubble gum and... No, that's not my line. That's Dan's line. Oh, wait. It's the anniversary of my favorite podcast. Here to chew bubble gum. It's been a year, and it's been an amazing year at that. I'm Justin from Talk Junkie, Retrocast, and of course, Believe It or Not. I want to wish a happy one-year anniversary to the best podcast out there. Here to chew bubble gum.
Recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I am all out of gum.
Grand Rising Flockers.
There it is.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
This is our anniversary show, episode 51. Part one of the anniversary show. We do have a huge announcement coming up that we're not going to wait. We're not going to get right to it. But after we do the email, before we go into segment one, we will say our announcement. And it is an anniversary gift for us and for the listeners.
Do it.
So, you want me to do it now or you want me to wait?
Why don't we just kick off the show with a bang, bro?
Okay. We'll just go ahead and do it now then.
Do it.
We'll do it live, okay?
Yes.
As of right now, you can find us on Pandora, on the app and the website. Just search Here to Chew Bubblegum. And every episode that we've got is now uploaded. So that brings us up to another platform. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, several others. But the big one, Pandora. So it is a deal that has been in process since the end of July, and we finally got approved and posted last Thursday when everything went up.
Next stop, Sirius XM.
Keep our fingers crossed. Exactly. That's what our ultimate goal is. And I was looking at some of our listeners from the other day, and Here to Chew Bubblegum is heard all over the planet in the following countries: the United States, Germany, Canada, Australia, Finland, United Kingdom, Ireland, Philippines, Singapore, Nigeria, New Zealand, Indonesia, France, Norway, South Africa, India, Poland, Brazil, Israel, Panama, Italy, Switzerland, and now Sudan.
Nigeria.
Yes.
I wonder if that prince who tried to buy my truck off Craigslist when I was in college is listening.
He could have. Actually, the other than the United States, the second most popular place that we're listened to is Germany, and the third is Finland, and Australia comes in fourth, and then Canada's fifth. So
interesting.
And we talk about Germany a lot on the show and how advanced they were, years and years ago. So, but with that, we're also going to say Nazis are bad.
Stay in school, kids. Don't be a Nazi.
And a programming note, the Office episode, we're going to move that to mid-November. And that will be myself, Rebecca, Dirty Dan, and comedian and friend of the show, Eli Griffith. We'll be moving that till mid-November.
Do you think there's any possibility we could get him to believe that there's a worm eating scene in The Office, so he actually does finally eat the worms?
I don't think that he'll go for it because he does know The Office, not as good as you two, but he does know The Office. So, I mean,
Rebecca.
we could try.
Conviction.
I've been rewatching The Office, like just randomly, just to have it on as background noise, and because I have like this weird like obsession with rewatching the show.
Yeah. Oh,
because of my anxiety. I already know what's going to happen. But there's gotta be a scene where they're like outdoors that we could try and convince him that.
Well, I mean, you've got several scenes. You've got a couple of episodes.
Michael Scott, when he does the nature, when Dwight takes him out to be in nature.
To the nature. That's what I was getting ready to say. And then,
well, that one or the one where Pam does the fire walk.
Oh, that would be a good one. I think if we could convince him that one of the episodes that was at Dwight's farm, we could convince him that Mose did it.
I love
Well,
Mose.
does he listen? Does he
Mose.
listen to the show because we're fucking ourselves right now?
Yes, he does listen to the show. So Mose cries a lot.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Dirty Dan, we got some emails, and I think you're going to be going first this week.
All right. So, am I reading the top part that you wrote to us too, or am I just reading the first email?
No, you're just reading the first email.
It's my first
What is
show.
this,
I'm
your
sorry.
first fucking day?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm new to the show.
Yeah, I don't know how this works. Do I read the thing or do I just read the emails?
Gotcha. So we have Trent writing in. It says, "Happy anniversary, Goose, Dirty Dan, and Rebecca. It's hard to believe that it's been a year. I've listened since the first show, and you guys get better each episode." Roswell. Thank you, Trent. Thank you for being a listener, a longtime listener. Thank you for the support. Roswell, to you, my friend.
And throughout the show, during commercial breaks, we'll be playing clips of people that called and left voice messages on the show phone. And you heard in the opening, you guys didn't hear it, but when people listen, they'll hear Justin Perkins doing a personalized opening for us.
I heard it the other day.
So, Rebecca, you're next.
This email is from Brett. Hello, Goose, Dirty Dan, and of course, Rebecca, the queen of the flock. I started listening to the show about a month ago and have binged listening to nearly every episode. I heard you mention that you're going to do an entire show devoted to Antarctica. Do you have I can't say this fucking word. I struggle with this word my entire life.
You were totally fine. Just say.
Did you have a specific date when that's going to be? If you did and I missed it, I apologize to you having to repeat it. Thank you for taking the time to read my email.
Well, first, you did beautiful on that. Dirty Dan, leave her alone. Stop that, man.
I don't know. I love when she says it. It's adorable. It's absolutely adorable.
I can't. I can't say that fucking.
Well, there's words like that I am. I do the same thing. What about you, Dirty Dan?
What words can't I say?
Yes.
Oh, they randomly change all the time.
Oh, brachiocephalicus is one he can't say.
Brachiocephalicus.
And
now you can all of a sudden miraculously say it.
What was I having a stroke on the other day that I couldn't say?
I know
spirituality you struggle with constantly.
Spirituality. And there is another one that he can't say. Like in segment 2, we're going to start off with an interview with who, Dirty Dan? What's the guy's name?
Fugat.
That's close. So, Fugit.
Fugat.
As far as Antarctica, I'm here for it.
Okay. We will be doing that. It will be before the end of November. So, thank you very much, Brett, for writing in. Harry says, hello, here to chew bubblegum. What are your thoughts on William Shatner and his recent space flight? My brother was a huge fan, turned me on turned me into a fan of all Star Trek franchises. I was wondering what your thoughts were, Roswell.
We already know what his thoughts are.
Thank you very much, Harry. I think it was pretty cool that you got, I mean, not just him being Captain Kirk, but him being 90 years old and looking that good and actually being able to go into space. I think it's pretty cool.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
What about you?
Me?
Yes.
I don't even know who the fuck William Shatner is.
Okay. Well, he's 90 years old and he went into space.
He was the Travelocity commercial guy. Right? Was it Travelocity?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He done Travelocity. So. Dirty Dan, what's your thoughts?
Well, they didn't go any higher than they did last time. So is it really going to space?
I don't understand what the point is. Are we just like, is it just like a cruise? Like, are we just joyriding into space and like coming back down? Like, if you're not going to go anywhere, like to another planet or like explore shit, like what is the point?
I think right now what they're doing is just testing, from what I've read, and I've not read a lot on it, but I think they're just like testing and so forth.
What are we testing?
To see if his rocket ships will reach outer space.
If his phallic ships can get up there or not.
I was waiting on that.
Giggity.
Goose, before the next email, I have a meme that I wanted to share that I told Rebecca the other day about Jeff Bezos.
Okay, please share that with us.
It says, I'm not surprised Jeff Bezos started seeing a woman who was close with his wife. Classic Amazon. If you like this, here's something similar you might like.
Oh,
fuck that guy.
I just had someone on the comments, and because we're on the Twitch, right?
Right.
It's almost like an amusement ride now. Like,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's basically what it is at this point.
You got two not as rich as one guy fighting over who can get up to space and back faster, while the guy who's richer than both of them now is just up there taking people up for days, taking satellites up, doing crewed missions to the space station and all that. That's right. My boy Elon.
There you go.
It's not even a race for it's not a race. There's no competition. But I digress. All right. Benji writes in, says, hey, Goose and Dirty Dan, what would your reaction be if you found out that the government had been lying for the last 80 years about what really happened between 1919 and 1950 and 1950 and 2021?
So,
what would your reaction be if you found out the government had been lying? My reaction would be, duh.
Yeah, that's basically mine because I know that they've been lying.
Hi, Benji. Dirty Dan here. I'd like to take a minute and give you a public service announcement of the government's already been lying, and it's not a conspiracy.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
Yes. But at the same time, I would also be like, I knew it. I told you so.
We've had an entire
with that
generation of I told you so.
That is true. That is true. Rebecca, you got the next email.
This is from Jessica. Happy anniversary here to Chew Bubblegum. The last year has went by fast. Keep pumping out that ear candy.
We definitely will. Reed says, greetings, Goose, Dirty Dan, Rebecca, Ned, and Elliot. Congrats on being on for a year. Your show has really grown over the past year. I look forward to this next year. I look forward to this time next year, Roswell. I do too, Reed, and thank you very much. All right, Dirty Dan, and I have it queued up and ready to go.
Okay, that was my question.
It is cute. Wait. I don't know if we'll play the whole entire thing, but it is queued up and ready to go.
We have from my very intimate listener, Dixon09. Hey guys, I left you a heartfelt voicemail. Happy anniversary!
And here is his voicemail.
Oh, happy anniversary to you. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day. We're going to send good wishes to you. Never can meet a nicer. Never gonna meet a nicer. All your friends say you're the very best. Never knew a nicer pair. anniversary. You're really awesome. Here's to a special pair. Let's keep it going there. You got a special flair. We all call for something that's really neat, something that's nice and sweet, something that's good to eat. Then we'll light those candles on the top. Don't stand too close. There goes that old smoke detector. When you're ready, oh boy, you'll blow them out. Those candles never stood a chance. All your wishes, we believe, is what we know that you'll receive. Oh, we are saying happy anniversary to you. Hope you have a lovely day. We're gonna send good wishes to you. Never could meet a nicer. Never gonna meet a nicer. All your friends say you're the very best. Never knew a nicer pair. So happy anniversary. You're really awesome. Here's to a special pair. Let's keep it going there. You've got a special flair. Goodbye.
So I did play it all, and that was left on our show from Dixon 09. Dixon 09, thank you very much.
Thank you for that. I love a good barbershop quartet.
You would. You would. Do you really like that?
I do.
I mean, it was awesome. It definitely was. That's not my favorite type of music.
I love
Yeah,
all
but I
types
think
of
you have
music.
to appreciate like what goes into.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I don't think that was him. He's never mentioned being a lover of barbershop quartet music or making it, but that was awesome.
But I don't know if you all picked up on it, but I did like the subtleties of the way words were manipulated or twisted or altered to kind of fit the Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Yes.
Like there was some craftiness and some creativeness that really went into that. And Dixon 09, thank you very much. That was awesome.
Yes, it was. Thank you. Let's see, Rebecca, you've got the next email.
This is from Ashley. Hello. If you haven't heard about Ken Ross, I suggest that you research and do a segment on the Ken Ross UFO incident. It's really fascinating and intriguing case that still hasn't been solved and remains a mystery. Roswell.
I have heard of that one, but I it's been so long I don't remember what it was about. I think, as they said, it's still not been solved. I think it was like an aircraft that had disappeared, chasing a UFO or so forth, maybe in the Midwest. So, Paul says, I need help here to chew bubblegum. Oh, yes, this was a good one.
Yeah.
I need help here to chew bubblegum. I need a curse removed from me, and I'm pleading for anyone to help me. When I was a teenager, I dumped a girl and tried to be her friend. That didn't work out, so I stopped talking to her. She was into candle magic and such. I haven't had any friends since 1987, and on social media, I am ignored. No best friend. All women hate me. I cannot succeed socially. Please help me if you can. Is there a way to remove a curse? Paul, I have no idea. I'm not into that stuff. Dirty Dan and Rebecca, feel free to offer some guidance to Paul. I mean, Paul, maybe you want to call the girl back up and tell her that you're sorry after all these years.
I mean, that's what's always worked in the movies.
So, what about you, Rebecca? Do you have any?
She seems very intrigued by something right now.
She must be reading the next email.
I did tell her about it.
She is reading ahead to the next email.
I've read ahead to the next email very, very many times. Very many times. Anyway,
Very times.
I don't even know how to respond to that email. I feel like it's a joke. Like I don't even.
Well, I don't know, because I mean he was specific when he put 1987 into candle magic, and magic is spelled the way that people are into that stuff spell it with the K on the end of it.
Allegedly.
So, you know, it could be. I mean, you know, if it is real, Paul, my only advice would be tell her you're sorry.
I'm right there with, like I said, that's what worked in the movies.
There you go. You guys want to move on to the next email? This is a long one and the best
That's what she
email,
said.
the best anniversary email that we have received. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this one up into several parts, which means I'll start out reading some. Dirty Dan will come in and reading some. Rebecca will read some. I'll read some more. So this email is from Bolin Cox, and it says, "Congratulations, Goose and the gang. Happy 1 year anniversary. We can't believe it's already been a year. Out here on the trail, it seems like 10. I'm writing in this week for the whole clan, everybody wanting to say something nice and give their thanks. This really is a monumentous milestone. I guess I'll start with me, the one you all come to know as Mr. Bolin Cox. Goose, you and your show have changed my life. I've never felt more alive since my condition has went public. I only wish I could say the same for my late Uncle Herb. I can only look back to the way things were and the way they are now and wonder what the future holds for us. Have a blessed day, my friends. P.S. Below are attached messages from the clan. They were so excited to send in their memos. Oh, and the last one is from my neighbor's wife's sister's-in-law, Clara Faye Dawn. She's a huge Talk Junkie fan and avid poetry writer and wanted to share her new poem on your anniversary special." Rebecca, you're up.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm sorry, I was listening. So this is the section from Sally Jean Sue. "Happy anniversary here to Chew Bubblegum. Thanks for making my husband's week out on the trail a little more pleasurable. Anytime you're out on the trail, stop by and I'll give you the best filled flitters you've ever had in your life."
What is a flitter?
It's like a pancake.
That's a fritter.
Bobby Ray Stevenson,
No.
David's no. Oh, wait, is this still me?
Yes,
Yes.
that's still you.
"I still ain't got no taint, but I ain't ashamed anymore. Also, that I know of, I just got my asshole licked for the first time ever. I haven't been this happy since Ned saved us all the one time in the future from the stinky Twinkie.
Goodbye, Pandora. It's been nice.
Oh my God."
Oh,
Bobby's
Bubbies.
my Twitch.
And Rebecca, everybody's saying fritters. Goose, everybody's saying fritters. It's not flitters, it's fritters.
It is flitters on the email.
Yeah,
Out.
no, he's actually talking about flitters because there's a thing back here in Eastern Kentucky they call flitter cakes, and it's similar to a pancake.
Yeah, it's flitters.
Interesting. So we have the Eastern Oregon Kentucky Trail.
Yep.
This next one's from Billy Steve Donnie Ray.
I just read that one. Pay attention.
No, you read Bobby Ray Stevenson,
Oh, shit,
Dave's
I
notes.
did. Never mind. Disregard.
So pay attention yourself, chick. Billy Steve Donnie Ray's note says Rebecca can come flock me anytime she wants, just like she does every night in my dreams. How's that for an honest thought?
Rebecca's face is so red right now.
I have been studying the map, and I truly believe as long as the queen of the flock is on the show, both the show and Rebecca will shine on. Here's to another great year for all the Here to Chew Bubblegum flockers. This one's going to be interesting.
Yes. Yes, it is.
From my very, very beloved fan, Marcia Sue Jane. Happy 1 year anniversary, Dirty Dan. No one will tell me where you reside or even show me your face. It's okay, though. Your macho yet celestial voice has given me the great awakening I didn't even know I needed. It's also made me fill many vacant holes physically and spiritually that was causing me a super depression that I didn't even know I had. I love you, Dirty Dan. And if you are ever out in the trail, stop by the barn and I will give you a bouncy hayride that will change your life too.
Now Dirty Dan's face is red.
A little bit.
Rebecca, you're up again.
We're not even going to address any of that. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah. No, please. Let's discuss. Let's
I
discuss.
swear to God, you give me these on purpose.
No,
Okay,
no.
oh, you're so full of shit, Goose. This is from Clara Faye Dawn, and I would like to rub one out and dedicate my new poem to Talk Junkie. Jesus fuck. Called are you reading it or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Believe it or not, roses are red, violets are blue. When I think of Justin Perkins, I go a squirtin'. Oh my God.
I read this to you and you're still reading it. Oh my God.
Whatever happened to Cronkite, none of us are certain. But there's one thing that's 100% certain. When I think of Justin Perkins, I go a squirtin'. UFOs and alien abductions are much like love and seductions. But even so, when I think of Justin Perkins, I go with squirtin'. Happy Halloween, everyone, and Roswell, the Cox clan.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say who doesn't go squirting when thinking about Justin Perkins.
Thank you very much, Bolin Cox and the Cox clan out on the trail. And thanks everyone who wrote in and left voicemails. Dixon09, thank you very much for the song. Very blessed, guys. Very blessed. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Or they can email. How can they do that, Dirty Dan?
You can email us, goose@heretotchewbubblegum.com, dirtydan@heretotchewbubblegum.com, and Rebecca@heretotchewbubblegum.com. Or you can email in Ned Elliott and the show at heretotchewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
And also, in the next couple of weeks, since we're on Pandora and we have some friends of the show that do have podcasts and so forth, on Thursdays, we're going to do a Here to Chew Bubblegum showcase spotlight, which will basically be clips from other people's shows that we'll post up to get them a little exposure on Pandora as well. We're going to move right on into segment 1, and we're going to start talking about Unidentified. We're going to break down the show and a latest article from Demi Lovato. I can't even believe we're going to talk about this. If you've listened to the show the last couple of weeks, we did a news story. We'll go back from the beginning. And I mentioned that Demi Lovato had a show on Peacock, Unidentified, and Dirty Dan watched the first 4 episodes within a few hours?
It was within 24 hours.
Okay. So I had time this week to watch the entire season because it's 4 episodes. But but before we get to reviewing those 4 episodes, I do want to read a recent story about Demi Lovato. She is encouraging people to drop the word aliens when referring to extraterrestrials. The Grammy-nominated pop singer turned UFO enthusiast caught up with Pedestrian TV to discuss her new show, Unidentified with Demi Lovato, and explain why the word aliens should be axed. I think we have to stop calling them aliens because aliens is a derogatory term. Lovato explained. That's why I like to call them ETs. Lovato's series dropped on Peacock and it follows the artist, her sister, and her friend Matthew Scott Montgomery as they attempt to uncover information on extraterrestrial life, UFOs/UAPs, alongside experts. Had you heard of that statement?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, I can't remember what day it was when I watched the first episode, but I watched this and I immediately texted Rebecca. And I'm like, this is horse shit.
No, that was me you texted.
Okay.
No, he texted me.
So,
well, it was Tuesday.
Yeah. So I actually texted both of you. I may have started it on Monday, finished it on Tuesday. But the first episode, I was so happy when it was over. Because the first episode is entitled "They Came at Night," and it was really hard to get through. One of the biggest things for me was Demi Lovato's haircut. She either looks like a Vulcan or a member of Heaven's Gate cult, waiting to catch the Tell Bob comment. There was a woman in that episode that claims She had hybrid children with aliens, 24
She
of
was
them.
abducted.
Yeah, she was abducted, had hybrid children, 24 of them, and she had drawings.
Hold on. Wait. Whoa. What? Hold on. 24?
Yes, 24 hybrid
She
children.
had
24 children.
Yes.
hybrid children.
What the fuck is a hybrid child?
It was,
Half human, half alien.
yeah.
How
come
did
on.
she have these children? Was it naturally? She like
Pay attention here.
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I don't really. Dirty Dan can explain how she had them because she holds up these drawings of these children that look like a 4-year-old drew.
She met
She
6 of
goes-
them.
and she goes, "Here are my
Or 8 of
kids."
them. She allegedly was taken back and met 8 of her kids. Allegedly. And then spills the beans and says, "Oh no, I actually have 24." And I'm like, "Bitch, you look way too good to have 24. You're lying. You're lying."
Is that
And then
really?
she goes, "No, I have pictures of them," and starts holding up these. I mean, these paintings look like someone put a bunch of makeup on their face, held up a canvas, and went,
yeah. Seriously.
what do they do? One more time.
No. It's already recorded twice. Go flock yourself.
I have somebody else that can flock me, so
All night long, apparently.
well, semantics.
Now, something that was interesting about her interview, and you know, you can get on. There you go.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're totally
No, you're not.
I
fine.
thought that I turned that off.
You're totally fine. You can get on the internet and like find out anything you want to. Now, this lady did say that she had missing time and that alien or foreign implants were found in her body. Those are things that if people have really been abducted, the first one is the missing time. And there's been some cases, not a lot, where there has been things retrieved from their body that can't be explained.
A Hot Wheels car up the anus does not count.
Okay. Now, Demi did make a statement in that episode. That basically said something to the effect of because she went to a group. It was like an AA group, but it was for people who had been in contact with ETs and been abducted. And she said there was no judgment, and it felt really good that everyone was that way, and the world will be a better place if everyone was that way. And I do totally agree. But when the first episode went off, I was really happy. So,
Yeah.
And I dreaded to start episode 2. I will be honest with you.
I can tell you the exact favorite part of my first episode.
What's that?
When she had that one-on-one session
Uh-huh.
and she was quiet and I thought she fell asleep.
You guys are making it really hard for me to like carve significant time out of my day to watch this.
Well,
But
Once you
episode
get past
2,
the
3,
first-
and 4 are fucking phenomenal. And the only
Once-
reason I've gone back and rewatched it.
now, how many times have you watched it? Is it still 4? 4 times. Once you
stopped.
get past the first episode, it is good. Episode 2 was titled Star People. And it takes place in Vulture City, which is a Old West town that's
Abandoned mine.
that is still there. It's a historical place to visit. This was really a really good episode. They go ghost hunting in this episode, and they have a lot of activity. It's a very interesting episode.
More so entity than necessarily ghost, because they're looking at the mine and it's not for ghosts
Right. Well, yeah.
and the other building.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, one of my favorite episodes, episode 3, Are They Here Already? They talk about a underwater base off Catalina Island and a green door that's on the island.
Brittany Barbary, the ufologist.
And you know what was going on while they were on this island, at Catalina Island. The Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
A fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Now, they did have Kevin Day on. He was a witness to the Tic Tac video. And his job, he was actually in the military, and his job was to monitor and identify objects in the sky. And in this episode, I think it was this episode, yes, it was, he claimed that the 3 videos that were leaked and then later on released there was a lot more videos that the public has not seen.
Yeah.
And now he was actually ridiculed, and forced into retirement to leave the military.
Yep.
And he was like a real life G.I. Joe, American hero type guy.
Yeah. And it's sad. And I told you that.
Yeah.
I told you that before you watched it. And you finally watched it.
Dude.
What did you think about when they were doing the diving?
I thought
you heard that.
I heard
that boom.
I thought that was. I didn't realize it at first till they go back on the boat and then they start playing it again. I thought it was a really cool episode, and it got better and better. Now, episode 4, the title was called "Countdown to Contact." It took place in Sedona, Arizona, and in this episode, they do a lot of meditation. And what are your thoughts on meditation? Because me, not as far as meditation to draw aliens ETs in. That's the PC term now, ETs. I do think when you slow down from life and take a break and, meditate, that you can accomplish pretty much anything you set your mind into. That's not impossible to do. Rebecca, I want to start with you on that. What's your thoughts on meditation?
She's got a shameless plug.
First of all, there's several different types of meditation. Like there are several different types of meditation. And I want to start with that. And as far as our minds are very fucking powerful. And I don't like the word impossible, because that means that you're putting limitations on yourself. And meditation is about removing those limitations and understanding that you can go beyond what you think you can and unlock all of these other doors and powers and worlds, right? So, I forgot my other point.
Shameless plug.
I know that's coming, but there was like a segue that I had between the two.
That's what she said.
Meditation is incredibly fucking powerful. And I have not been doing as much meditation as I would like to be doing. And that's something that I want to start changing. And you can start with little bits of meditation and ease into it. You can go big or go home. And then as far as my shameless plug, thanks, Dirty Dan, on Halloween night, we are doing a massive global meditation and streaming it on every single platform that we can. And I actually will be live on Here to Chew Bubblegum's TikTok for this meditation. Times and everything are coming soon, and the promo will be out for it. So I will be talking about that and dropping more information, but it's going to be big.
Dirty Dan, what's your thoughts on meditation?
I don't believe that there's necessarily a right and a wrong way to do it. Meditation is something different for everybody.
Yes.
And I do think a lot of people probably already do it without realizing it. And I know that it's kind of got a stigma with it, and that, a certain action, a certain sequence of events, which is more like a ritual than meditation. I'd say just keep an open mind and try it, because it's nice. And, you can just be getting into your swing of things and in a work routine by yourself, and find yourself meditating, just going through it. You can just be out in nature, barefoot, connected to the grass and the trees. You can be sitting in a dark, quiet room. It doesn't matter. You can kind of meditate anywhere. And like I said, it's definitely refreshing. So I encourage everybody to try it.
Oh, and I totally agree with both of you. I think you're right. I think a lot of people do meditate without even realizing it. And, for some people, that could just be, pulling themselves out of a situation, going off to themselves, taking a few deep breaths in, inhale, exhale, counting to 10. That's their own form of meditation. And, they do it without even realizing that that's what it is. Nick Pope is in episode 4, and we've talked about him a lot on the show. He has a class that he's titled UFO 101. Now, Nick Pope is is he from England,
The UK.
The UK. He is like their real life Fox Mulder from the X-Files. And he has investigated a lot of cases that he's found valid and non-valid. And in episode 4 of the Demi Lovato show, he talks about the history of UFOs. So if you're just now getting into unexplained aerial phenomenon or UFOs,
USOs.
yes, as well, and tell us what USOs stand for.
It's not what Bob Hope did. It is unidentified submersible objects.
You are correct. But Nick talks a lot about some famous cases. He starts off with the 1942 Battle of Los Angeles. He talks about Roswell, the Phoenix Lights, and another thing I found cool. Did you notice what his screensaver was when he was going through his slideshow? It was a picture of the TR-3B.
Yeah. Well, because he did reference that though.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of identifying.
When he's talking about the Phoenix Lights, yes,
Yeah.
he did. He also confirmed and backed up what Kevin Day said in episode 3 about 3 videos that we did see that was released, but there was others out there. So that was a nice tie-in. He also talked about Project Stargate and Demi, her friend, and Dallas, who is her sister, attempted remote viewing. Demi supposedly did the remote viewing. And they did that with Elizabeth April,
through meditation.
Yes, a ET contact expert. So, and they had a neon pyramid there. But once you get past episode 1, I do recommend Unidentified if you're looking for something to watch. On a scale, I said I do recommend Unidentified if you're watching something, if you're wanting something to watch. But at the same time, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 5.
Out of total?
Yeah, 1 to 10, I give it a 5.
All right. So you don't want to break down each episode score. You just total overall.
Yeah, just total overall. You can break down each episode score.
That's a cheap way out.
Here we go, splitting hairs.
The original plan, Rebecca, was that we were going to rate each episode.
Okay.
All right.
Episode 1 was a -10. Episode 2 was a 8.5. 3 was a 9. Episode 4 was a 9.
I have a 2.5, 7.5, 9, and 9.5.
You really gave the first episode a 2.5?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm not a big zero guy.
Uh-huh.
And there are little snippets in there that are useful. And there's also some entertainment in there. Like, I was honestly laughing for a solid 15 minutes when she talked about having 24 fucking hybrid kids.
What?
It's worth a little comedic value there.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. But at the same time, the sad thing is this woman actually believes this. So that, I find that a little bit sad.
And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen or hasn't happened, but this one's just a little far-fetched and hard to believe.
See, I was raised Dirty Dan, and it's not right to laugh at people with mental illness.
Well, you laugh at me all the time, so you fucked up right there. Oh,
okay. Touche, my friend. Touche. We're going to move on.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
We're going to move on to segment 1. What have you got for us, Dirty Dan?
Well, I've got a short little story that I would like to actually talk about or read from Neil deGrasse Tyson to Demi Lovato after her series came out.
Okay, so we got more Demi Lovato.
Just one little snippet, and it's kind of amusing. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has responded to Demi Lovato's recent "out of these world" remarks, suggesting that aliens is a derogatory term. The Cosmos presenter and director of the Hayden Planetarium laughed at the comments in a new interview with TMZ, saying, "All the aliens that I've ever met, they have no feelings." Whether Tyson was ignorant of Lovato's preferred pronouns or just behaving ignorantly, he referred to them throughout the short clip by she and her. He admitted that Lovato was being considerate, but also expressed bafflement at this personification of extraterrestrials, wondering why someone would be worried about offending them by calling them an alien, as if we could know what is going on in the head of the species of life from another planet. He continued by defending the term alien, explaining, when I refer to aliens, just to be specific, I always say space aliens. And then what we used to call aliens on Earth, undocumented immigrants, that's what the new term is for them. And I'm all in on that. So that means if we all do that, the only invocation that the word alien is used for creatures from outer space that want to kill us all. This is probably a reference to his remarks on Cosmos, suggesting that any aliens who travel the vast distance through space to Earth would probably be coveting our resources. When it comes to potentially hostile invaders, first, I don't care what they feel. Plus, why should I even believe they know English? So yeah, I'm not all in on that. I don't get it. That was the last that just
Okay.
of all people.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, Dirty Dan. I want you to be totally honest. Do you have any Demi Lovato songs in your playlist on your iPhone? He does.
No, I have a Fall Out Boy song with Demi Lovato on it.
Bullshit. I bet you got more Demi Lovato than you think you do.
All right, I'm gonna look then because now I'm curious.
Oh my gosh, man!
Let's see if I even follow her. On
Now
Spotify.
it makes sense why you like this TV show so much. Did you like her haircut in this TV show?
No.
Do you wish she would grow?
I'm not even following her on Spotify.
Do you?
That doesn't mean shit. I don't follow anybody on Spotify. I want you to go to your like songs and type in Demi and see how many pop up.
All right, how do I do that? How do I do like songs?
Oh, you know how to
Library.
do
God.
it. You know how to do it.
You know how.
Right there, library.
Dirty Dan.
No, Rebecca, I don't because I do Spotify totally different than you, and you know that.
Dirty Dan is looking to see how many. Do you have any
Dirty
Demi?
Dan is over there deleting fucking songs.
I'm not. I'm trying. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it up here. All right. So
Because we can see what you're doing.
you can right now. You can see if I delete it. So do I still hit search or do I? Oh, find and like songs. Demi.
Okay, Dirty Dan is looking to see how many Demi Lovato songs he has.
I have.
Oh
I
my
can't spell
God,
it.
all of them.
Nope. I have one song. And
All of them.
one song.
What's the name of it?
It's not even by her. It's with her.
Okay.
It's called Instruction.
Well, do you have any downloaded?
Jones.
Do you have any downloaded on your phone?
No.
None.
No.
Okay.
I have no Demi Lovato. I only had downloaded iTunes.
I think the better question would be is we can just start like playing some Demi Lovato songs and see how many Chris sings along to.
Yeah, let's, because I honestly can't think of any.
Okay. If
Now, Katy Perry, though, I used to think they were the same person.
if Demi Lovato came to Lexington, the Rupp Arena, would you go buy a
No.
ticket to see her?
No.
Now, you actually hit on something there. There's like a conspiracy type theory going around that Demi Lovato actually has a twin sister. That
She does have a sister.
Well,
Listen, sweetheart, listen.
a twin sister that is supposedly the one, and I just briefly read through this because it was so preposterous, that the twin sister is actually the one that's on the show unidentified, and that's not Demi Lovato at all. You can actually go to DuckDuckGo and look this up, and there's like,
All right, I'm doing it.
there's like different pictures of her supposed twin, and so
Go. What do I need to Google?
just you need to
Goose it.
DuckDuckGo.
You gotta goose it.
Yes, you have to goose it. Demi
What do I need to
Lovato twin sister,
Demi.
and
Wait, I thought you said Katy Perry.
no, Demi Lovato.
You don't listen at all.
So, yes, she does,
I
man.
did listen. We were talking about Katy Perry.
No, I said that I thought Demi Lovato and Katy Perry were the same person.
While Dirty Dan's looking that up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Albert Einstein, and I want your guys' opinion on this. There's a new article out that claims Albert Einstein was given a guided tour of a flying saucer after it crashed at Roswell. The iconic physicist, famed for his E equals MC squared formula on mass and energy, also got to see an alien autopsy, according to his former assistant.
Poot Lovato?
What was it now?
That's the name of her long lost twin sister, Poot Lovato.
Poot?
Poot.
Okay. See, I never knew the name. I just read briefly.
What the fuck?
But anyway, so Albert Einstein got to see the flying saucer and the autopsy, said his former assistant, Dr. Shirley Wright. She said she accompanied him on the top secret mission to the desert in New Mexico. She detailed what they saw in a series of tape recordings made shortly before her death in 2015 and only made public now. Dr. Wright said the alien craft, which reportedly crashed July 1947, appeared damaged on one side. She added that it was disc shape and had stood up 1 to 4 feet off the hangar floor. She's also said the spaceship was surrounded by guards, photographers, and specialists who were studying it. Einstein studied UFO propulsion system, Dr. Wright claimed. She said he was not disturbed by seeing the actual evidence. I didn't record in my notes or initial comments, but he said something to the effect was that he was not surprised they had came to Earth. It gave him hope we could learn more about the universe. Contact should be a benefit to both of our worlds. She said that Einstein was also shown the 5 corpses that were extraterrestrials. To me, they all 5 were about 5 feet tall, without hair, big heads, and enormous dark eyes. And their skin was gray with a slight greenish tinge. For the most part, the bodies were not exposed, being dressed in a tight-fitting flight suit. But I heard they had no navels or genitalia. Einstein wrote a report, and Dr. Wright obtained her PhD in physical chemistry and physical science, was ordered to keep her mouth shut. She did keep her mouth shut, but she did not want to take the secret to her grave. Shortly before her death in 2015, at the age of 85, she agreed to be interviewed by top UFO hunter Sheila Franklin. The tapes have now been released to the public for the first time. German scientist Einstein, renowned for his theory of relativity, had been a long believer in alien life. In an interview in 1920, he said, "There is every reason to believe that Mars and other planets are inhabited. Why should Earth be the only planet supporting human life? It is not singular in any other respect." So, UFO expert Philip Mantle, age 63, says next year will be the 75th anniversary of the Roswell crash, and all of those involved are now deceased. I have long been saying what UFO researchers should do now is look for items stored in old cupboards, attics, garages, etc. that have been long forgotten. That's the first time I'd ever heard of Albert Einstein being at Roswell, looking at the ship and aliens and so forth. What I found interesting about that story is some things that Dr. Wright said. People that have supposedly seen it made pretty much the same claims about the height, the appearance of the body, the flight suits, the damage to the saucer, and so forth. What's your thoughts, Rebecca?
I'm going to go a totally different direction.
Okay.
I think that a lot of what Albert Einstein did was a psyop controlled by the government to make us believe certain things. So I take everything that Albert Einstein said with a grain of salt.
So you're not a fan of Albert Einstein? Dirty damn.
I didn't say I wasn't a fan. I just said that I take everything with a grain of salt.
All right. Do you think he needed a hairbrush? Yes or no?
No, I totally dig it.
Okay. Dirty Dan, what's your thoughts on Albert Einstein at Roswell? I glanced over your text you just sent me there about Poot.
Yeah. So I'm somewhere in between the middle of you two. I do believe that some of Einstein and his experiments and his theories were psyops or just distractions in general. I also do believe, however, that it didn't start out that way, and that man was incredibly smart and very odd, and probably did see some things and have permission to see things like at Roswell. You know what? He might have even been on the craft.
Well, she said that he actually got to examine it and so forth. So he probably, did get on the craft.
I meant he was on it when it crashed.
Oh, okay. No. He was from Germany. So
what?
Moving on. Do you have a story for us there before we take our first break?
I do. And it's titled Signals Detected from Galaxy Core Like We've Never Seen Anything Before.
Okay, so, I have actually heard about that this week.
So, astronomers have detected radio signals from a galaxy core that fit no current understood pattern of variable radio source. A mysterious radio signal has been detected by astronomers that fit no understood pattern of variable radio sources. They did come out with a number after this article was published that was 1,632 different signals they've heard now. An international PhD student in the School of Physics at the University of Sydney, Zaiting Wang, explained in a new study published in the Astrophysical Journal.
What was his name? Zaiting Wang?
Zaiting Wang.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know him?
No. That's old man Wang's boy.
Not to be confused with a neighbor kid, Some Young Sauce. Anyway, we're going to hell. New study published in the Astrophysical Journal that mysterious radio signals were detected using the CSIRO's ASCAP radio technology, or telescope that's located in Western Australia. The PhD student pointed out that the radio telescope towards the center of the Milky Way galaxy and found the brightness of an object also varies dramatically by a factor of 100, and the signal switches on and off apparently at random. We've never seen anything like it. The discovery of these unusual radio signals has suggested that it could be a new class of stellar object. Over the course of 9 months throughout 2020, more observations were conducted with international researchers, and in total, the astronomers were able to detect 6 distinct radio signals from the source. Additionally, it should be noted that when the astronomers attempted to view the source of the radio signals in visible light, they saw nothing. At the moment, these radio signals remain uncategorized, but according to Wang's PhD supervisor, Professor Tara Murphy, the Transcontinental Square Kilometer Array, or SCA, radio telescope, which is expected to be turned online sometime in the next 10 years, will be able to assist in discovering the source of the radio waves. Dr. Murphy also said that looking towards the center of the galaxy, we found ASCAP J173608.2-321635, named after its coordinates. The object was so unique and that it started out invisible, became bright, faded away, then reappeared. This behavior is extremely extraordinary. Like I said, this was a little bit older of a story. They have now come out with 1,632 different identifiable radio waves. They still have no idea what's causing it. And China said that they are trying to make a super duper telescope basically before that other one comes online so that they can be the first to discover it.
Right.
Along with their corkscrew space station.
Well, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and Rebecca, I'll start with you. Do you think the way technology is now, and you're getting radio signals, you're getting people recording actual stuff that can't be explained, and the government still says nothing exists. Do you think it's getting harder and harder for the government to keep the secret hid and keep the lid closed?
Oh my God, 100%. Do you not see them crumbling and grasping for fucking straws? It's hilarious.
Dirty Dan?
I agree. I think like what I said a couple shows ago when we asked or we were asked about like revealing UFOs or coming clean with this stuff, it's going to start taking that tumble effect or that snowball effect, and something so profound and so obscene is going to be brought up because of these mass ball of lies, that it's going to have nothing. There will be no other resolve than to just finally come clean. And I think we are now seeing that snowball start more and more.
They have to trickle information out, and they have been for the last, year aggressively?
Yeah.
Right?
But the
because
problem
if they dropped all of this information at once, people that can't handle it would lose their fucking minds.
See, but I mean, we've come a long way. And then it goes back to the shit last year with toilet paper. People freaked out over that. So I don't think it would be as bad as the government thinks it would, out of all these years. And there's only time is ticking down on how much longer they can keep the lid on this before it explodes.
Yeah, but Goose, you're thinking of someone whose perspective is on the outside, that doesn't just blindly follow, that doesn't believe all the bullshit and mass media spread. You got to think about the chaos that's going to ensue when all the massive sheep are then completely reversed.
Yes, Rebecca.
First of all, Dirty Dan, we don't use the word sheep. We don't. There's those of us that are actively raising our vibrations and questioning and finding answers and open-minded, and those of us that aren't, right? There's the top rack of the dishwasher and those that didn't make it through. Sheep. Some of them are sheep. Some of them aren't. Second is, to quote Tom McDonald, they're creating chaos so that they have something to save you from. The government will always try and spin shit so that they can have control, and so they can keep their thumb on everybody.
That makes sense to me. You guys have anything else to add before we take a break? Okay, we're going to take a break, and during the break, we're going to have some happy anniversary sound bites and some Ned Saids. We're going to come back in segment 2. Segment 2 is going to start out with an interview with Luke Fugit, and you can also catch this interview, the video portion, this coming Wednesday on the Midweek Moment.
Luke Fugit.
Yes, Fugit. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, the anniversary show. Happy anniversary, Dirty Dan.
Oh, I'm just waiting for Rebecca to just launch something at the screen.
Rebecca? We'll be back in a little bit. Again, you're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
I can't go on knowing that you're in a cage. I know it's hard to live a life.
Are you a horror movie fan?
Yeah, I dig horror movies.
Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to?
Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy.
Then you need to tune in to deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
This is Seth from Seth's Daily Podcast. I want to wish Here to Chew Bubblegum congratulations on 1 year. You guys are doing a great job. You guys are going to continue doing a great job and entertaining people all over the world.
It's now time for Ned Said on Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Camels have straight spines.
Well, I'd like to wish the Here to Chew Bubblegum, well, you and the whole staff, happy anniversary. I mean, y'all doing really good. I'm kind of proud to call myself your friend.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Elliot from the Spooky Family Podcast, and I want to remind you that our buddy, the Paranormal Trucker, has a brand new podcast out. Yes, you can catch the Paranormal Trucker and his crew, Snowman and Large Marge, anytime on YouTube.
They're going to bring you spooky tales from the road, ghost stories, updates on new tech, conspiracy theories, and everyone's open road favorite, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
You could add "you piece of shit" at the end of any famous movie quote. What would it be?
Hakuna Matata, you piece of shit.
You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. If Abraham Lincoln were alive, he'd listen, but he's dead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Very special interview. With me is a great friend of the show, great friend of mine, known him for many, many years. I'm not going to say how many years because it will make us both feel very old. But Luke, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
A week from now, this time last year, you were the first guest ever on the show. And I can't tell you how many emails that we've had over the last year asking when you'll be back on. And I was going to get you back on sooner. I am so sorry. But I'm glad to have you here for the anniversary show to have this interview. Now, you've been busy this year. You're sitting inside a cabin that you built since the last interview.
Yeah.
You also built a mechanic chair that goes up and down the wall.
Yeah.
Since the last interview. What else have you been up to?
Well, working mainly. That one project that I had that was the traffic control safety thing.
Yeah.
I kind of got a provisional patent on that. I'm ready to make a video kind of announcing it and stuff. And
that is awesome. That is awesome.
See, maybe it might save some lives. I hope.
I was actually talking to a buddy of mine and was telling him about the thing that we come up with years ago. And he said, I would have loved to have had one of those back in the day. He's like, why'd you guys quit? I said, I think somebody already had a patent on one is the reason that we stopped. There's not one on the market, but
right. It was patented, but they never sold it.
Yeah. So, but tell us a little bit about that if you want to, because is this your first patent or do you have other things patented?
I've got several things patented, but this is just a provisional patent so far. But what it is I work in traffic control and work on the highways, and it's a very dangerous job. Distracted drivers are our worst nightmare. And what it is, it's a box that you can carry with you, and you can open up and sit it down where you're flagging, or if you're working on the side of the road. It has flashing lights on it. It has a horn, a really loud horn. You carry a remote control with you, and it's got like 4 buttons on it. One is the horn to alert drivers that are just not paying attention.
Right.
The other actually have my stop sign automated, so I can not even be close to my stop sign. I just push a button, it'll flip around to stop and slow and all that. If I have to go talk to somebody and then let the traffic go or something, I can do it without having to walk back to the sign. And also I have a button that I can push that will take a picture and hopefully get the license plate of somebody that runs through. And when you hit the horn, it actually transmits on the company radio an alarm to let everybody on the work site know that there's been a work zone intrusion.
So everybody can get out of the way.
Yeah, they can be aware that there's a danger coming into.
How did you come up with that idea?
Well, for one thing, about being hit like 500 times.
Right.
You'd be surprised how many times I've narrowly escaped.
So this is something that you thought about, for quite a while then.
Yeah. Just there was actually another company that did kind of something like it, but it was more of a completely automated system, which didn't work very well. And it just had the flashing lights. It had a siren, but it was triggered by speed of vehicles, and it didn't. I mean, half the time it go off when wasn't even nobody moving,
Right.
So and it wouldn't alert the people on the crew, through the radios. It would just like blow a horn and let the person in the car know that,
Right.
to stop. Which,
Dude, and I have told people this during the first interview. I've told people this throughout the year on the show when people's talking about you. You are by far the smartest guy that I have ever met. Justin Perkins with Talk Junkie, he has, over the last probably 6 months, he has become aware of who you are. And he's watched a bunch of your YouTube videos. And he was talking about, he actually used the term mad scientist, but take that as a compliment because Justin, I don't know if you've listened to Talk Junkie, you heard him on the show.
Yeah, I have.
Justin's a highly intelligent guy.
He is, yeah.
He even a few weeks ago said that we could use his garage anytime for any experiments that you wanted to, set up and do, and we could record. I'm still waiting on the time machine. You still have to get that time machine going.
Been working on it.
You've also been working on the Tesla coil.
Yeah, well, more of a Jacob's ladder.
Jacob's ladder is what I meant.
I've actually added a rotating magnetic coil. It's just a stator from an electric motor with a motor controller to initiate a spin of an electromagnetic field. And from what I was reading on websites and stuff like that, exciting that magnetic field along with the arcing, creating the little heat signature, is supposed to help with possibly forming a vortex. The testing I was doing today, actually my daughter-in-law saw it and she was like amazed because she was watching me. I had it going, had the arcs going and all that, and I was throwing stuff through it. And I threw one thing, it was a stick, and she kind of did a double take because I saw it too. I threw it and I didn't see it anymore. I didn't see it anymore at all, but I played the footage back and it's like I threw it and you can see the plasma of the arc kind of dip just a little bit and then it just disappears. And I was thinking, okay, well, it fell down or something, or it just went down behind the arc or something. I kept watching the little clip. I slowed it way down. I put it up on YouTube as it's actually an unlisted video. I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, please do.
But in about just a few seconds, way too long for it to have actually been flying through the air, I can see it bounce back up and like go toward where my truck is.
So it just basically appeared kind of similar to the one that you sent me back in April that disappeared.
Yeah.
Did you ever locate the one back in April? It was a screw.
Never did see it.
Now,
and I have since I've not been able to get any screws to do anything like that, but it's like something organic, like a stick, which is what happened today. Right. That's the only thing that I've been able to actually see anything like that. And I don't know if I'm seeing things or not, but if you watch the video, it has way too long for that to actually be it just bouncing and continuing on the original trajectory. It's like it disappeared for a second or two and then reappeared kind of maybe a little farther out and then just kind of bounced.
Well, I mean, if with your permission, when you send me that link, I would love to add that in this video at some point.
Oh, sure. I even opened up the box and I showed the inside. I took the audio out because my son was working using some power tools. So, it was kind of loud, but I took the sound out of that part. But I show the inside of the box. It's basically I don't really want to tell everybody how to do it because it is a little dangerous.
Right. Well, you don't have to get that technical with it.
Well, it's the microwave oven transformer is the main thing. But then I've got a power board in there that regulates the magnetic field, and also a wave guide from a microwave, and a reflector in there, and that's it.
Now, do you have any plans to build a bigger version of this?
I don't know if it would.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this.
Not as yet.
Let me ask you this question. You are familiar with the Tesla coil?
Yeah.
Have you ever saw the show? It's been a few years ago. It was on the History Channel. It had Dr. Travis Taylor, who's on Skinwalker Ranch, and they were at a pond, and they actually had a Tesla coil, and they powered a remote control boat over this lake. Did you ever see that?
I didn't see it. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I will have to text you that link because they had the coils too close, and it was causing the boat to more or less just blow up. They had to move them farther apart, because something as tiny as like a remote control boat, it don't take that much power. But they figured out when they moved them far apart, they were still getting electricity. And what they concluded was, like, you have a custom cabin that you built from scratch. You could, in between that, your cabin, you could put those Tesla coils and power your cabin just by stuff in the atmosphere. And that's what Nikola Tesla claimed. And I will hunt that link up and send that to you, because I know you can make this, and I know you can get it to work. Because, like I said, you were the smartest man that I've ever met. Justin Parker was amazed by your truck video when you opened the side of it up.
Oh, the toolbox.
And yes, he was totally amazed by that. And but is there anything else you've been working on?
Like I said, not a whole lot of time between work, but I've been doing a little bit of solar on the house.
Right.
But not very much, nothing extraordinary.
Let me ask you a question. With wintertime coming up, have you used solar energy before in our area?
Yeah.
Did you have any like dark periods in the wintertime where it's not daylight as long?
Yeah.
How long do those last, the dark periods?
It just depends on the weather. I mean, you can actually get solar power even with an overcast day. It's a lot less, and it means that you have to have a lot more panels to make up for the difference. And where solar really comes into play is solar panels are just battery chargers.
Right.
So you're just charging up a battery bank. So you want that battery bank. You figure up all of your appliances in your house, everything that's going to be drawing power, and you figure out how many watt hours that you need, and you buy enough batteries to last for, say, 3 days without any charging.
Okay.
That way, if you do have a time where the sun is not out for several days, you have enough backup to make it. I mean, you will have to conserve, and I mean, it'd be a good idea to have a generator or like the water wheel that I had.
Right.
Some alternative source. Like we have grid power, but we do have the solar too. So we have a backup as the grid. So,
that's very smart. Now let me ask you a question, because I know where you live at, and you're kind of in a valley. If you move those solar panels to the top of a hill somewhere and run you wire, do you think that would make a difference in our area in the wintertime versus having them where you're at now?
Now it would. You would get more power up on top of the ridge because you would have the sun for longer. Of course, right. The sun comes and goes, below the ridge. If you were up on top of the ridge, you would get the power sooner, especially if you were on a higher ridge, like this ridge is higher than that ridge is. So I would want to have solar panels on top of this ridge. One problem that you run into, though, if you're not, like where we live in the valley, is voltage drop from
right.
the panels down to here.
Got you.
You can jack the voltage up and run AC voltage. And if you run AC, it has less loss over distance.
Right. With all the stuff in the news about UFOs and stuff coming out last April, with the Tic Tac videos and all the videos, were you let down when the report came out at the end of July?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Watching those videos, what's your thoughts on all that stuff?
I'm not sure if it's extraterrestrial or something like that, but I think it's more backwards engineered from craft that we have found that were extraterrestrial.
Now, do you think it was our craft or a foreign country's craft?
I think it may be a foreign country because
really,
yeah. Now we do have stuff. I can't really.
Right.
But
you don't.
I was in the military.
Yeah. You don't have to go into detail. And I can tell when I first asked that question by the look on your face, because I've known you for a long time. I could tell pretty much what you were going to say. I've always thought, and said this on the show, if it was our craft, I think even when the videos came out, it would have been swept under the table, because I think word would have come through the chain of command. Hey, this is ours. You don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
So that's just my thing.
I'd say you're dead on accurate with that, because they can't control another government's actions if they have a craft that can just pretty much go wherever it wants.
Right.
And I think basically the only way they were detecting them was through video. They weren't even picking them up on radar, were they?
No so radar, nothing.
They can pretty much go wherever they want, and they don't. If we had such a thing, we wouldn't let it out.
Right.
Or our government would not.
Well, it's kind of a scary thought to think that another government may have that.
Yeah, kind of, yes.
I just hope that they're one of our allies.
I would hope so.
So since those videos came out and they supposedly, didn't really disclose anything, there is a new task force starting, the unidentified, whatever they came up with, the new term they have now.
UAPs.
The new UAP task force. Yeah. And do you think that we will ever, well, let's say in the next 5 years, know the truth about UFOs or reverse engineering or what crashed at Roswell?
Not if there's any way that the government can keep it under wraps, and keep throwing out these stories. And I don't think they would ever just admit it. There would have to be some proof that couldn't be denied.
Right. Okay. Now, there was a former military guy back about 3 months ago. He made the statement, and I'm paraphrasing. He said that the military used to be 50 to 100 years ahead of the public and technology. But at this point in time, and this was like 3 months ago, maybe 4, he said this. He said at this point in time, the U.S. military is 300 years advanced, 300 years ahead of the public in technology. Do you agree or disagree with that, and why?
300 years is a long time.
Yes, it is. But that is what he said. And there's been some other people. DJ Nicky with the Carbon Capture Shield, which is affiliated with IngersollLockwood.com. He said he actually agreed with that statement.
It could be possible. That 300 years is a very long time, though. And if it's 300 years, there's no way that the technology could have came from Earth.
Right.
But because it will be so far advanced from us that,
right.
Well,
I'm going to be honest, and I've talked about this on the show. I think we have a lot of technology that came after Roswell. That technology boomed so fast after Roswell. We had to get that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Because look, just a few years prior, Germany was way more advanced than we were in their engineering and their jets and their missiles and their rockets and everything. They were way more advanced than we were. And there is alleged rumors that they got their technology from a downed spacecraft in the dark forest. You really can't find a lot of information about the dark forest because at that time Germany kept a shutdown on the media. It was controlled on what went out.
Right.
Do you agree that technology accelerated after Roswell?
It did. Yeah.
Do you think that we landed on the moon?
I tend to think that we did.
All right. Now, part B to that question. Do you think that the video that we were shown was actual moon landing video?
Now, with the technology, the video technology at the time.
Right.
It would almost be easier to send somebody to the moon than it would to film and do as good a job as they did.
Right. And I totally get where you're coming from now. What do you think about the people at NASA who supposedly taped over the original moon footage?
That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, that's not like something they just have laying around like a random tape or something. That would be put up, That doesn't,
that didn't make any sense to me either.
No.
Let's see. Is there anything that you saw over the summer? Weird in the sky? Anything that you've noticed? Anything at all?
Not this summer.
What about last summer?
I mean, I've seen lights and stuff, but it's nothing that was.
Well, and if I was going to guess what you were going to say, I bet you was going to say summer when you was in the military, you've seen all kinds of stuff, but you can't talk about that, correct?
Well, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what new projects have you got coming up that you're going to be doing and putting on your YouTube page?
Well, I got a van that, the church, where I go to church at.
Yes.
There were two old vans. Well, two vans sitting there. The real old one, well, they wanted to get rid of it, so I took it. I'm making a tool van out of it. That's one of my projects. That's nothing major, but it's a good place to stick my tools and stuff.
Right.
But
are you going to customize it or?
I am. I'm going to have probably a little bit of solar on top to help run power tools and stuff, like in the field.
That's a really good idea. Really good idea. Have you done anything with the deer blind?
No, he ended up wanting to use it. So.
Oh, okay. So you weren't able to.
Yeah, I didn't want to, mess it up, and because I don't do a lot of hunting, so I don't know much about it. So I didn't want to I don't know if I get my scent up there or something.
Right.
I just leave it alone.
Did you ever think about going up there and chopping it down?
No, not really.
I want to thank you very much for letting us use your footage from the Blue Horse and Hyman and giving us a background on that. We had that on a midweek moment, and thank you very much, for being gracious enough to let us use that. I've been wanting to get over that way and shoot some footage of Hyman and in Hazard of the Mother Goose where it's rebuilt. I've not been able to.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week I'll actually make it over and so forth. Luke, thank you very much for coming on the show. I look forward to having you back. Is there anything that you want to say in closing or anything you want to tell us about? You still need to build that time machine. I know you can do it. I know you can do it.
Well, I don't know what I'm really building with that Jacob's ladder thing. I don't know what happened to that stick. I'll send you the link to that. You'll have to check it out.
Do that, you know, because I could just picture you throwing that, and then in some other alternate reality or parallel universe, a stick coming through and hitting somebody in the eye. Oh my gosh, what was that? So,
well, see, it did come back out, but it just took way too long to come back out.
Right.
I mean, you can look at. I mean, it is slowed down footage, and because of the frame rate, you couldn't even see it whenever I played it full speed. But I shot it in 60 frames per second instead of 30, so I could slow it down a little bit more.
Right.
I probably should have done 120 frames per second, but you know, that's just what my camera was already set on. And
so, yeah.
But where I slowed it down, you can see that as soon as I turn it loose and it gets like right above where the spark is, you'll see the spark kind of dip. And then when it dips, it's like it's not there anymore. But then if you keep watching on like back where my truck is sitting, you'll see the stick after way too much time. I mean, the video is steadily sped up. It's all the same speed. So if you look at the speed that the stick goes leaving my hand, it takes too long for it to get to where it's bouncing up. And it's like it come out from down there somewhere.
Right.
I don't know if it did, but you know, it just seems like it to me, you know.
Maybe it went through, hit somebody in the eye, they picked it back up and was hoping to throw it.
That's probably what it was. I'm glad it went the other way.
There you go. There you go. But Luke, thank you very much for coming on. Definitely going to have you back on again sooner. Hopefully we'll get you in the studio, maybe at some point at our next round table. I do have a recommendation. We would love to have you there. I do have a recommendation for some of your videos coming up this winter. There's just one. I know you have a lot of viewers from different states that watch your content. Homemade snow cream. I think. I think that would be a really short, sweet, simple video, and people probably never heard of that before that don't live, you know, in our area.
Yeah, I can sure do that.
Yep, you could call it Luke's Luscious Snow Cream. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that rhymed, and my mind went completely blank there for a minute. So, Luke, thank you very much for coming on. We definitely appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Luke Fugit. Give the name of your YouTube channel and so forth. So go find it.
It's just Luke Fugit on YouTube. Just my name, Luke Fugit.
And you can also go to heretechewbubblegum.com, and there's a section called Luke's Corner. You can click on that, and that will take you straight to his YouTube page. Luke, thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in the future, my friend. God bless you.
It's now time for Believe It or Not with Justin and Goose.
Hello, I'm Justin Perkins, and some of the best things in life just aren't quite believable.
Jot 'em down, store. Love from Abner. I'm Goose.
I goofed up that opening. I said it different than I
Oh,
said the
did
first
you?
two times.
Okay. All right.
So people get used to different openings because Goose is a professional and writes his down. I do mine off the top of my head, and that's why he sounds better than me.
We can go ahead and do that again if you want to.
If you want to.
It don't matter. Okay, let's see.
Hold on a minute.
Let me get that cough
think.
out. Okay.
All right. Some of the best things in life are not quite believable.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. Hello, I'm Justin Perkins, and some of the best things in life are not quite believable. You found my weakness. It's when I have to do something planned. Some of the best things in life are not quite believable. Let's try that one.
Okay. Go.
Hello, I'm Justin Perkins, and some of the best things in life are... God, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Get it in post. That's what...
Yeah, get it in post. Go.
Hello, I'm Justin Perkins, and some of the best things in life are not quite believable.
Jot 'em down, store. Love from Abner. My name's Goose, and welcome into Believe It or Not with Justin Perkins of Talk Junkie and Goose. That's me from Here to Chew Bubblegum.
The reason Goose is laughing is because I butchered that opening 14 times before you people got to hear the one I just did.
No, it was actually like maybe 3. It could have been 4.
They were bad.
And who knows? I may have not even edited those out in post. I may have left
leave
those
them
in.
Please leave them in. I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
The Spooky family gets everything in post.
Okay. Well, I can definitely leave those in if you want me to. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Doing good. This is episode 3 of Believe It or Not, spelled Knott, and I'm definitely enjoying it. I was going to try to go last Sunday and record some video over in Hyman and Hazard of the Big Blue Mailbox and the Mother Goose House. I've not been able to. I'm going to try next Sunday to go and record some video. Hopefully that'll work out. So
those are 2 amazing landmarks. One obviously very old and one very new. But now the video you did share on the
midweek moment
was
yes.
great. Yes. Luke done a great job explaining it because I had an ideal. When I first saw it, I was like, well, this has to have some historical significance. And like I was telling you, I live on Pine Top. I have a picture of a dude that I believe is delivering mail on a horse in the late 70s. Like, I should have known this. And it was when I found that video, when you and I were talking, that's the first video I found of Luke's. It's when I found that video that I knew, kind of the history of it. And I think it's a neat thing. And then, they just rebuilt the Mother Goose, which is, she was a victim of one of the most violent Duck Goose games of all time, and they've rebuilt her, and she looks great. And
yes, they have. Now, I can't remember. Has the Mother Goose building been there since the late 30s, early 40s?
I don't know.
It's been there quite a while.
It's been there my entire life, and I know yours, but I really don't know.
For some reason, I was thinking it was either built in 1936 or 1939.
Somebody once told me it was in a movie. Is that true?
Probably.
I would have had to say, welcome to the Things Justin Doesn't Know show. And
now, I do know that years ago, and, this... And don't ask me why I know this, but it was on Oprah Winfrey years ago. They were talking about it and showed it and did a segment that was in the mid-90s because I actually remember watching that episode.
Did it walk all the way from Hyman to Chicago?
No.
So you got to be local to get Raleigh.
Yeah.
That's a good dude.
Talking about Killer Niece there.
Yes, that is a good dude.
No, I can't remember exactly what the episode was, but they did show it, and that Mother Goose place is now a bed and breakfast.
Yes, the lady that owns the bookstore that I always promote on my show, the Red Spotted Newt, Mandy. She's actually, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I don't know if she's telling me or not, but she's working on a book herself, and it's really good so far as it's going. And she actually went and stayed there a weekend to kind of just
that's cool,
because she loves the goose and she loves all things Hazard. She's really been big in trying to revitalize that place.
And just looking it up here, let's see, George Stacy began working on the house in 1935 using a goose skeleton to build the house to scale. It was completed in 1940. So that's in the time period that I thought that it was.
And like I said, if you have any chance to come to Eastern Kentucky, it's not actually in Knott County, but it's real close. You need to go check that place out. It's one of the neatest little things you'll see.
Definitely. Now, my grandmother years ago used to have a candy jar that had a duck head on it, and I always thought that the Mother Goose Inn looked like her candy jar.
It does kind of look like a cookie jar.
The way that it would come up and so forth. But we are going to be talking about a mystery or I guess a magical secret from Hazard, Kentucky, which is not too far from the Mother Goose House. And I'm talking about the fairy doors of Hazard, Kentucky. Justin, what did you think about this when I first told you about this?
Don't Google it. Other stuff will pop up. But I somehow had missed this, and I don't know how, because it's something that I would have loved, and which I do zone out a lot. I definitely take long hiatuses for social media, but when you first started, like, as soon as I heard the name, I was like, well, that sounds interesting. And then I kind of got to looking into it, and it's really a fascinating deal. Like,
yes, it is.
It's a cool, whatever it is, it's cool.
And this actually, I heard about it, I think, in 2013 or 14 from WYMT. They did a news story on it. and then I went and looked it up, and there used to be a lot of stuff online you could find. There's not anymore.
That could be a result of the things that popped up when I Googled it.
Yeah, okay. But basically, let's see, Hazard, Kentucky is a town with a positively magical secret. Do you still believe in magic? In one small town in Kentucky, they're starting to. A little surprise has been appearing all over the city. It seems that fairies have arrived in Hazard, Kentucky, and they are slowly starting to show their presence. Have you heard of the trend? You can take a look at the Hazard chapter of Magical Creatures. It's spreading a little cheer and mystery throughout the small Kentucky town. And I think that's the name of their Facebook page.
Yeah, and it's still up. It's not been updated apparently since he started popping up, but it's still up. I got on and checked it out, and it's got some good pictures and stuff on there.
And now basically what this is you had an unknown artist from Perry County. I guess he's from Perry County. Nobody knows who he is, or from Hazard.
Or she.
And what's that?
Or she.
Or she, yes.
Trouble.
Correct. Thank you very much for saving me there, my friend. This unknown artist, he or she, would, at night when nobody was out, they would go out and they made these fairy doors ahead of time, but they would make them theme. Like one of them was at the fire department. Yeah. It had a picture of a fire truck. It was... you could see in that fairy
behind
door.
the garage door.
Yes, behind the garage door. And they would post those. And there was one they posted downtown by a bank. But there was several over Hazard. There was some in the park. What's that park that's in Hazard?
On the streets, we just call that the blue courts.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, I'm not.
There's the blue courts and the red courts. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this one is up behind the old jail on maybe High Street. Up by MC Napier.
I know what you're talking about. No, I don't know
MC
what that's
Napier,
called.
Hazard High School. You know what I'm talking about?
What that's called.
Well, that park, actually up there was a bunch, like in the woods there, by their outdoor fountain, and they had little steps going up and little lanterns stuck on the tree. I mean, they were
pretty neat.
They were really, really neat. So, you had a person that was very artistic, he or she, that was doing this and sprucing up the town. Did you find anything in your research if this was still going on?
It looks like it kind of just abruptly stopped, and I think it's a shame because it was really neat. It was fun. It was good, good natured. I think that's a lot of the problem in trying to find any information on it. Is a lot of the times, especially media wise and news wise, the bad way outweighs the good when it's vice versa. I think in real life a lot of times. So I didn't see it, but I would love to see it return. This would be a good month for it to return. Maybe the artists see this and be a great time for it to come back.
Be a great time because I think there's still some of them up over there. I'm gonna have to check the next time I'm in downtown Hazard. Let's see. And this story even mentions on a tree within a park or even inside a school. You'll never know where one will be next, and they always seem to pop up. And at the time of this article. I don't remember what site I got this off of. Their social media page, again, Hazard chapter of Magical Creatures, had over 2,000 followers, and I always thought it was neat and cool.
I think it's I'm a big art person, and I'm a big positivity person. I know there's people that know me would like to question that, but I am I'm a pretty positive, upbeat person, and little stuff like that. It makes, especially finding it in the schools and stuff. It's kind of like the rock thing where they went and looked for the rocks. Like that's a big deal to some kids. Or the teddy bear thing they were doing in Knott County during COVID, where you find the teddy bears in the windows of the businesses. It's a cool thing. Something you can go do with your kids. It doesn't cost anything. It's like an adventure. So I think it added more to a community than it took away, for sure.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree with you. I would like to see somebody do this in Hyman, honestly, to see what they would come up with.
I think that would be neat. Like, it would be cool to, just that. I guess to me, it's like the Goonies feel of it. Here's this thing, if I was little and those popped up, I'm going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Because, when I was little, one of the biggest things we done was go look at Christmas lights. Dad would take us and we'd go, quote, get lost. He'd just go driving on the road, and we had no idea where the road went. And he was like, "Do you know where we're going?" I'm like, "No, I don't." But you would go and look at these Christmas lights and stuff. And like I said, we did the gingerbread man hunt with our family 2 years in a row. And I think they've already done it this year and we didn't get to do it, but because I was out of town. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that I like to see it pop up anywhere, you know?
Oh, I totally agree with you. So I do believe this story 10 out of 10 because I did see it on the news and saw him in person. And to whoever done this, he or she, please do it again or go to Hyman and do it. The world needs a little more positivity
Most
in it
definitely.
that way.
And, you know, the question of if magic is real. Magic is definitely real if you look at it from the sense of this. This might not have been a fairy or some mythical creature that made these. It was just a mortal person. But it brought a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, and it sparked a lot of imagination. And that's about as close to magic as you get.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. You can always email us, believe it or not, spelled KNOTT, at heretochewbubblegum.com. Again, just shoot us an email if there's anything you want us to talk about. If you want to get in contact with us, shoot us an email. We'll read it on the air. Real quick before we go, when your dad would take you out looking at Christmas lights, did you ever end up in somebody's driveway and have to turn around?
No, not that I can remember, but a lot of it, I think, is because he actually knew where he was going.
Okay.
And I was amazed at where these roads went, but there were definitely highlights. Same way with trick-or-treating. Like, he liked candy, so, you know, we'd hit Frogtown. That's right, there's a Frogtown in Knott County for those people. Not the Roddy Piper Frogtown, but there's a Frogtown in Knott County. But, no, I don't remember that. But now, I myself, as a parent, yes, that has happened to where I'm like, well, let's go up here. I see some lights, and then you get to the end of the road, and then you're like, okay, we need to turn around at this point because we got hollers, people, and they only go so far.
Yeah, that's somebody's driveway. That's actually happened to me quite a few times as well. We'll see you back next week. Thanks again. Don't forget you can email us, believe it or not, spelled KNOTT, at heretochewbubblegum.com.
And you're back with Here to Chew Bubblegum.
What's up, flockers?
Greetings. We are back.
He had to say his line again.
We have well, hey, you know, you said you're back. She said flocker, so greetings. Don't forget, coming up this Wednesday on the Midweek Moment, Luke Fugit, friend of the show, great episode. Dirty Dan starts out the episode talking about Luke, setting him up. We go into a Zoom interview with Luke and myself. During that Zoom interview, we have video from his from his Jacob's Ladder experiment, and you can actually see stuff disappearing when he throws it into the Jacob's Ladder. So the video portion of that is coming up this week. Also, be on the lookout.
He's got good security.
Oh, dude, he has very good security. Trust me.
Because I don't want this guy to like just disappear or get Clintoned.
No. That will never happen. That will never happen. And don't forget, coming up next Friday, a brand new episode of Honestly Get Real with Rebecca and Goose. Rebecca, we had somebody comment. What? It is Honestly Get Real.
It's Honestly Get Real with Goose and Rebecca.
Well,
it's Here to Chew Bubblegum presents Honestly Get Real with Goose and Rebecca.
Okay. We had somebody comment that they loved the opening credits on the, I think it was the episode that dropped yesterday. So what are we going to be talking about this week on that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I'll have something to bitch about.
Okay. Well, hey, you heard it here first. A Here to Chew Bubblegum exclusive coming up on Honestly Get Real with Goose and Rebecca. We will have something that she wants to bitch about. Oh,
I can't.
What is so damn funny?
Just Goose setting it up that way and then finally saying it to just finish it out with, and she'll have something to bitch about.
Yeah, right?
I want to thank everyone for listening. Next week we'll be coming up part 2 to this episode 51, the Happy Anniversary Special, part 2. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Or they can email. How can they email Dirty Dan?
I mean, they can also call 867-5309. But you can email us at goose@heretotchewbubblegum.com, Dirty Dan @heretotchewbubblegum.com, or Rebecca @heretotchewbubblegum.com. You can also email in just the show, Ned or Elliot @heretotchewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
Yes, and tell us about the organization you're talking about this month, Dirty Dan.
Well, this month, we are still sticking with the Till Valhalla Project. They were founded or established in 2017, and they rock the wonderful slogan, "Where Heroes Live On Forever," under their beautiful tribute of a logo. And the TVP team is all about bringing and spreading awareness of the help that our vets and soldiers need, and really everyone. The ones who devote and sacrifice their time to protect our lives and freedoms, and sometimes, and all too much, unfortunately, give the ultimate sacrifice of their own lives for us. Their mission is to do whatever it takes, anything to get their name out and purposes to the masses. The sale of their products, it obviously does make a difference, but the conversations and the awareness that that merchandise brings is what they are hoping will help lessen the 22 a day plus one active duty. And that is way more significant than any monetary donation. We need to support each other, most notably our brothers and sisters and the families that are left behind from that. Starting in 2019, they ramped up their donations by another 20%. And in under 2 full years have now raised well over $1 million. So shout out to them for that. That is awesome. I do love their shirts. I seem to constantly be wearing one of them that I have from it all the time. And the one that sticks with me the most says, "End all suicide" on the front, and says, "I can't promise to fix your demons, but I can promise you won't face them alone." And that is something I definitely stand with and stand behind. I know Rebecca does. I know Goose does. I think all of you should. Don't ever be afraid to just be there for someone, because you don't know when you'll need that. So with that being said, don't forget to check out our friends over at Adventures with Purpose. You can check them out on YouTube, AWP Adventures with Purpose, or go to adventureswithpurpose.com.
Very well said, my friend. I want to say special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work, and don't forget to check out the new Midlife Crisis album, available now. Be sure to stop by and support our friends with their own shows. CK and Uncle Bill at deadpit.com, Justin Perkins with Talk Junkie, Jordan and Brad of Down on the Holler, Seth Ambergy with Seth's Daily Podcast, Elliot Gertie Beagle over at spookyfamilypodcast.com. Go ahead, Dirty Dan.
Because when I think of Justin Perkins, I go squirting.
The Mountain Mysteries podcast with Chris Sloan, Cronkite Snowman, and Large Marge over at Paranormal Trucker. If you want to awaken more, be sure to check out Rebecca Short on TikTok and Honest Rebecca Thoughts on Twitch. Also, every Friday on the Here to Chew Bubblegum YouTube channel, be sure to check out Honestly Get Real with Goose and Rebecca. Drops every Friday morning at 8 a.m.
Holy shit, he finally got the title right.
That'll do it for this week. We'll see.
Can I do a shout out?
Yes.
Can I do a shout
yes,
out?
Please.
Because I had a major like fangirl moment. I was asked to be a guest on Shipwreck Show, which is also on YouTube. So go and check her out. She's one of the creators that I'm also like partnered with, along with the original Wicked Wolf as well. And we are doing a massive global meditation on Halloween night. So stick around for more information on that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Let's lock her out.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.